Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Leal in this incarnation. Well, I just did the live, but I don't know what happened with my internet and the video was not saved. So I am doing this message again. Well, I wanted to talk about the tension between Mars in Taurus and Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, and also talking about another transit that I didn't mention yesterday, but we are going to feel it this week. In fact, this is perfected on the next in the next week, but we are going to feel it before. So that's why it is important to talk about that. Well, first of all, Mars in Taurus and Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Mars is this planet of the action, and as I said yesterday, it wants to act, it wants to take decisions in order to contribute with value in our lives, in order to contribute with the well being. And everything that we are really doing from that place not only has an impact on ourselves, but also in everything that surrounds us. A very simple example that I just gave in my Spanish channel, in the video of my Spanish channel, was that if I decide to take care of my physical body, with the energy of Taurus is very linked with the physical body. I start to create habits or something, that is very linked with creating, a better relationship with the physical body. That will have an impact on my, that will improve my emotional state, the state of my mind, my relationships, how I'm acting on my purpose. That will have an impact on everything. So in this case, we're talking about assuming the power to face, there could be certain fears, or, Pluto could reflect attachments to, take decisions that require, for many people, this is linked with letting go of structures that have accompanied them for a long time. Like ways of generating resources, like relationships, and there could be attachments, emotional attachments, material attachments too, that Pluto will reflect. This is very important. And if there are a lot of resistances to assume this decision or this action, Pluto, like there are external scenes, that are reflecting that to us. Also, this kind of transits could bring, this sense of manipulative dynamics. And something that we have to understand is that, yeah, there are many people that could activate these dynamics in a very unconscious way. This comes also from programming. It's not every time this comes, from a very evil intention. Manipulation is something that is is a very used collective programming. But we have to understand that if that causes any reaction, it is because that manipulation is activating a wound, is activating an imbalance inside of us. And that way we can understand that what is that reflecting to us, in order to process anger in the best way possible, because also tensions between Mars and Pluto could be like explosive. It is very important to not judge anger, to let anger move throughout the body, in order to not create a stagnancy in the body, and also to understand that this energy is asking us for taking this action. Taking this action, that it is going to represent something different for each one. As I said, for some people, this is linked with detaching from something, acting on a new thing, creating something that adds value to our experience, creating new ways of generating resources, creating new ways of doing something. And also, as I said, sorry, I am repeating this video for a second time. As I said, we are experimenting this with the tensions with Saturn. So we have also to assume the responsibility with certain decisions, invoking this inner authority, and establishing healthy boundaries. But as we are experimenting a square with Saturn, these boundaries could bring us certain discomfort. Something that I mentioned before is that when we are starting to practice healthy boundaries, when we were, people, people pleasing people, people pleasing people, this could be very something very very uncomfortable, because a lot of programmings of I am a bad person, I am for saying no to someone, or for saying no to something that is not aligned with our soul. These programs could be activated. So this is about establishing healthy boundaries, letting go of the guilt, letting go of that kind of programmings. And well, the other thing that I wanted to I wanted to repeat this. I don't remember if I said it yesterday, but the resistance of assuming these decisions with Mars in Taurus could also have a manifestation in the body, because as I said, Taurus is very linked with the associated with the physical body. So when we have any symptom, mostly of our symptoms in the body, other things are linked with a pact of the soul. Other things more specific, but I am referring to, when a symptom appears from from one day to another, it is because the energy is not flowing correctly. And that is a signal that we need to process an emotion, that we need to assume a direction, that we need to assume a decision. So the communication with our own body is very, very important, because we can really heal from one day to another. I experimented this many, many times. Well, the other thing that I wanted to comment is the square between Venus in Gemini and Neptune in Pisces. This, we are going to experiment it by the end of the week. It is perfected on June 16th, but we are going to feel it from, from June 14th, more or less. Yeah. And Venus is associated to relationships, to resources, to desires of the soul. Neptune is this planet that is linked with another planes, compassive energy, empathy, unconditional love. It is about the spiritual connection. It is associated with unity, all of these things. But what happens when there is a tension, when there is a square like this case? Well, it could be that we could project idealizations, is a transit that could put in evidence, let's remember that planets are not doing anything to us, that could put in evidence self-deceits. So it is the typical transit that is associated with scams, and something that I said before in other videos is that when we go through a scam, it is because we are not hearing our intuition, because many times we feel that something is off, or that the offer is like too good to be real, or that whatever thing, and we do the investment anyways. So that there's when the disappointment comes. But it is because we are not hearing that part of ourselves, that inner voice that is telling us it is not that way. It is not that way. This could apply to people and also to information, because Venus is in Gemini. So it is very important to activate the discernment with this transit. Discernment is not only using our logical mind, but also the intuition. Again, activate the discernment in order to filter the information, because there could be scams, there could be lies too. There is a tendency to idealization that could lead to disappointment. And well, how we can take advantage of the transit is using this as creative energy. It is also a good transit to spend time. It is about relationships, romanticism, these kind of things. But it is a good transit to establish conversations from this empathy, understanding more to each other, these kind of things. But it is a very, very nice transit to use it to descend ideas from other planes. It is a very nice transit for artists, for example, or every person that wants to create something, because creative energy, it is not limited to art. Sorry. So that is the best way that we can use this energy to connect with other planes and to descend ideas, Venus in Gemini, in order to, materialize them in here. But we have to be aware of all of the other things and to be very connected with that inner voice, with the voice of the soul. So, well, I hope that this time the video is saved, is going to be saved. I am ending this video here. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.